Good morning from Weymouth. So I am walking into the town center, which is like 15-minute walk or so, in order to catch the bus back up to Upwey. I've decided that I'm gonna finish the South Dorset Ridgeway. So I think there's about 6 miles left. And it technically ends in Osmington Mills. I'm not sure if I'm gonna go that because it like overshoots the last bus stop and you go like down this hill, down close to the sea. And then you have to come back up the hill to get the bus in Osmington. So we'll see if I do that little bit or not, but yeah, so hopefully slightly shorter day today. And hopefully a lot less overgrown than that one patch, but we'll see. So a bit of a bus snafu this morning. The bus I got on was like on the board it said it was a certain number, and then the bus itself said a different number. So I asked the bus driver, like, oh, do you still stop at this stop? And he was like, yeah. So I get on the bus, I signal to stop at the stop. Turns out they don't stop at that stop. So I got off at the next stop, which basically means I'm by the side of this really busy road. And I'm probably 1.5 miles, 2 miles away from where I want to be. And given that I'm literally walking today, I don't want to really walk up this hill. So I'm waiting for a bus back the other direction, which was supposed to come right now, but a bus went by and was like not in service. So I think I might have to wait for the next one. Thankfully, it's only like 10 minutes away, but snafu I wasn't expecting. Okay, a couple more pounds and a bit longer than I thought it would take to get here, but I'm back in Upwey, which is where I ended yesterday. So I'm gonna go ahead and refine the path. I do have to kind of get back up onto the ridgeline, which is a hill, which is not gonna be fun, but hopefully it's not gonna be too overgrown. So, well, there's Upwey. Climbed up from that valley. Still climbing. Okay, I'm back on the path. Goes up that way. Binscombe, 1.5 mile cows. Thankfully no babies this time. I don't know if you can see them, but there's also some bunnies. Some right up there. There's more that just scampered into the bushes. Well, these guys are really not afraid of me, so yeah. Trying to determine if they're harmless or not. But I don't really want to go in their pen with them. Thankfully it's a short distance to the other side, but there's no real way around, I don't think. Okay, thankfully they're totally harmless. They're just like a little puppy. So I just kind of nudged them back and walked through and they were fine. But yeah, not my favorite activity. Well, I'm back on one of the bridle ways that kind of goes over the South Dorset path, which I like because they're much wider. This one is walking next to a field of wheat. Nice. There's Bincombe. Oh, Bincombe is cute, but super tiny. It's basically just like agricultural businesses and their respective like owners and workers' houses. But very stone, like that's the sidewalk. It's like a raised sidewalk. Very cute. Okay, next stop is the Osmington. On the way, I'm supposed to go around the white horse that's on the side of the mountain. So hopefully we'll get a little view of that. Onward. More cows. So many cows. Hello. Well, that isn't at all confusing. Well, we've encountered another overgrown section. Had to get through all that nettle. I think one got me before I put on my rain pants. And now I have to go into there, which is also very overgrown. So hopefully this is short-lived and it opens up and is better again, because this is not it. So I'm not sure how there's 2 different paths that literally lead to the same place. I bet they kind of circle back. I don't know. I'm just glad to be on the horse trail again because it's nice and wide. Okay, after a quick little oops detour, I am back on the path and getting pretty close actually. It's like a little after 11:30 I think, and I am just getting to the horse. That's the second bike I've seen come through here. Wild, like motorbike, to be clear. Oh, we're back to horse and carriage, which means easy hike. I think that down there is Osmington. So not that far to go. Those old pump water things. I don't know if it still works or not, but looks like it's preserved in some way. And it's very wet here, so maybe. Expat? Otherwise weird. Okay, so I made it to Osmington. It's like another 1.5 miles to the mills, which is technically the edge of the Ridgeway and where it joins back up to the like coastal Southwest Coast path. I'm on the fence about whether I'm going to do it. There's this like dairy shop that's down the road a little bit though, and I'm wondering if they have like ice cream, so I might go poke my head in and see and then make a decision. That thatch roof house has like thatch animal shapes on the top of it. Okay, this promises me ice cream. Also tea room and shop, so meaning usually there's going to be like baked goods and things. Oh yes, I could want that too. A view from lunch with an annoying child blowing a whistle. So it was a cute little farm shop. They didn't have much cooked food. It was like just like cakes and stuff like that. And then they had some quiche, but it was like a 20-minute wait to get food. So I just got a lemonade and I'm gonna just eat the food I packed. And then I'll probably go get an ice cream before I leave. So I did get ice cream. The woman had a hard time scooping it, so it fell off a bunch of times. So there's like a little bit of cherry and then a random piece of cone in it. It was wild, but it's good. The mint is a little too artificial, but like the cream is, you can tell like it was made here. But I would say an 8.75 out of 10. Onward, Osmington Mills. More cow adventures, just walking through a herd of them. Their udders look huge, so I bet they're milking cows for the dairy, but they don't have their babies with them, so they're not like protective, and they're probably used to humans because they get milked. So I was like, okay, I'm just gonna walk straight through you. They didn't even bat an eye at me. So I'm kind of done with the cow pastures though. I've had a lot of that today. And there's Osmington Mills. Now, getting back to Osmington, like it's a half mile, but it's a hill. It's like up and down. Osmington is like on the other side of it. So I might actually walk the coast. I think it's like 3 miles back to Weymouth, but it's not super, like it's like a little hill like that. So it's not super crazy. I made it to the other end. So 17 miles according to them later. According to my watch, more like 19. But that's because I like kind of came off and went on, and yeah, end to end at probably 17. But hooray! So Weymouth is 4.5 miles from, or 4.25 miles from here, which we'll see. I'm gonna walk down to the end first. Look at the view. There's the Smuggler's Inn. 13th century smuggler's haunt, apparently. So if I was done walking, I would have a pint, but I have to do some walking somewhere, so I'm gonna not. But I'm gonna go check out this view and then figure out which way I'm going. Here's a bit of a map of what I've been hiking. So the first couple of days I started here, like Kingston's there, so I started here and I did that. That's about 20-ish miles. And then yesterday I went here and I hiked here to West Bexington, and then I've been doing this ridge and now I'm here. So I'm about 20 miles in, so I could just hike to Weymouth. I was gonna do this section. This is like I think it's like 20 miles itself, and it's like an absurd amount of elevation change. So that's what I'm not doing this trip actually. But I think I am going to go over here to Lyme Regis and do Golden Cap, and some walking over here over the next couple of days. So yeah. Also, this says that there's a bus stop right there. Yeah, there probably is, but I have to walk all the way back up to Osmington for it. I might just do the walk to Weymouth. I decided to walk back to Weymouth, and it may not be a cow field, but it is this. With all my stinging nettle friends. Back on the path, 4 miles to Weymouth. And there's Weymouth in the distance. Just a couple of hills. It's like a maze of boardwalks and like mud puddles that have dried up. Wild. Well, I've made it some distance, only about a mile. Feels like longer. Just a tractor making piles to cut grass. It's kind of cool. I've never seen one of those things before. Really effective too. So this is the Osmington White Horse. I walked all along the ridgeline behind it, but I never actually got to a point where I could see it. So now that I'm far away, I can see it. So close. As soon as I get to where those buildings are, it's going to be just flat sidewalk all the way to the end. So in the very distance, the top of that hill right there, you can kind of see a little spindly thing. I think that's Thomas Hardy's monument. And so I was about this far away from it on the other side when I started my hike. And then I went all along that ridge line. And then to the other side of the horse over there. And then down. And then all the way around to a little before where those white cliffs are. And then over here. And then on the other side of this is Weymouth. All in total, I think it ends up being about like 23 miles maybe or so. Like once you add on the little bits that I did to get on and off trail. Without the little bits, I think it's supposed to be 21 and a half. So it's not bad for 2 days. I think I'm starting to like feel like I'm a little bit better like hiking shape, so that's good. So it's kind of hard to read this, but it's talking about the 2012 Olympic Games, which London technically hosted, but that's where they did the sailing and I think a couple of the other water sports too. Okay, I've made it down to the concrete section, so I just have to walk around the bay now. I've also switched into my rubber Birks. My feet feel so much more breezy. And it's only like a mile, so I can walk a mile in these. This sea looks so good. I think I'm gonna put on my swimsuit. There's somewhere I can change. And take a dip. Well, I finally made it back to Weymouth. A lot later than I thought I would. It was a nice walk though. I'm glad I did it. I just wish it was a little earlier. I don't know if the swimming is going to happen because it's 4:30 and it's kind of windy and cold, but maybe I'll go take a quick dip. Well, I did it. I went in the sea. It was really nice. Now I've been laying on the sand and drying off a little bit, but I should probably go soon because it's like 5:30 and I need to figure out dinner still. So that might be it for the day. So I'll see you tomorrow unless something interesting happens. Bye.